Hello, it's Nikki. How are you? How's things? This video is about births, babies, and business, and maybe Barry M, because it's my daughter's 7th birthday today, and she got like a sparkly Barry M nail varnish, and it's been out already this morning. I wanted to talk about this today because, as I mentioned, it's my daughter's birthday, and I know people's birthdays are all about them. Both my children, my son will be turning 11 in October. But as a parent, I think you really feel it too, and you feel different things. You don't necessarily feel unicorns and rainbows and cake and running about and party bags. You feel the life shifts and the chapters that have been going on. And I wanted to relate it to business in a very non-cringe LinkedIn way. I'm sorry, I hope it doesn't sound like that. You know those people on LinkedIn that will say things like, so I was at my mum's funeral today, and it got me thinking about lead magnets. Like, no, we're not doing that. But there are some takeaways that I can share with you. So to give a bit of context, my daughter is 7, as I mentioned today, and my son will be 11 in October. So they're nearly 4 years apart. I became a mum when I was 33 with my son, and I had a really tricky pregnancy, really sick, like 30 times a day, like I would sleep on the bathroom floor kind of moment. Never went in any form of transport without a carrier bag. It was grim. And then I had a 3-day labor ending in an emergency C-section. I'll spare you all the details and all the chapters of that. But in summary, my partner describes that birth, his birth, us becoming parents, as the best night and the worst night of his life, because it was scary at times. And yet, when you have a baby at the end of it and you kind of come out the other end, essentially, he came out the sunroof, as I mentioned, but and you go home and you start doing normal things and people come and see you. You have that pressure to go to gratitude, because I also know lots of other stories that are not mine to tell. And I remember the day after I came out of hospital, we had a midwife to come and chat. And she was doing you bring home a baby, don't you, into your house, and you think, I've had more instructions with an IKEA Billy bookcase. And it's quite Billy basic, isn't it? It's a bit like, what it's supposed to look like 2 ends with shelves along. You know that that's what it's supposed to be. And yet with a baby, I was coming home with a £9.10 baby who was hungry, a big bag of medication, and I couldn't even get my shoes on. I felt insane. Anyway, this midwife came the next day when I was home, and she weighed him, and he was really losing weight very quickly. And that was a worry, and he didn't go back to his birth weight until about 6 weeks after. It was long. I was in that clinic every single day. It was quite a stressful time. But what she said to me was, do you feel like you've let yourself down? And she said it with a smile, slightly judgy. Do you feel like you've let yourself down because you didn't have the birth that, you'd planned? I think she even pulled out my birth plan or something and was just a bit like, because this is what you said. This is what you said. You said water, you said gas and air. You didn't say any medical intervention, but yet, look at this. It's all gone wrong, essentially. And I, from somewhere, having not had any sense, I said to her, I actually don't. I feel all right. In that moment, I was like, I feel all right with it because I'm alive and he's alive. And we kind of left it at that. And then I'm sure she probably asked some other question and we moved on. And as I mentioned, in the moment, I had the right words. But for a long time after that, it did play on my mind. Am I doing this right? Should I have done this? Or all of these things. And so when I was pregnant with my daughter, same again, same symptoms, sleeping on the bathroom floor. I actually went back to the NHS and they do this amazing thing where they pull out your notes and it's called a birth reflection. And for me personally, I felt like I had loads of parts missing of that 3-day extravaganza. And when you leave the hospital, you take your red book, so you don't take your notes. So I couldn't go back and like retrace the steps of like, oh, that's why that happened, or that was the thing that went on. It was such a blur, and there were so many parts of it missing. And I had this incredible woman who basically said to me, you are not leaving my site until I've answered all your questions. And I can sit here all afternoon. I mean, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to put all that pressure on the NHS. And I tried to wrap it up in a very sort of, well, these are my 3 main things. And she was amazing. And it really helped me process that experience and then go on and have my daughter. Now, at 20 weeks, they, when somebody is scanning you and they kind of do that like, we just need to, and you're thinking, I don't know what this is. Anyway, essentially with my daughter, they thought she had 2 kidney systems, which I didn't even know was a thing. But there are adult humans who have never been scanned, they weren't scanned as a baby, walking around with 2 kidney systems, essentially, which I really do not have the biological knowledge to be sharing or talking about, but that's kind of how they described it. And one thing they said was they just needed to know if she had that, and they would operate when she was 1. And there was nothing that we could do throughout the pregnancy or the birth or anything like that. It was a case of like, when she gets here, let's see what happens. So I again was in that hospital every single week. I think I had probably over 60 appointments my whole pregnancy. And fortunately, because I'm self-employed, I was able to make that work. But I also had a 3-year-old, and also just because you're self-employed doesn't mean that you're not working. You still need to generate income. But obviously, I was doing all the things that I needed to do. Anyway, when she was born, it turns out she didn't have that. And I don't know, there was some error on the system or something. Anyway, it doesn't bear thinking about. But she's fine, and that was fine. But because of all these checks, I booked in for a planned C-section. And I don't know if it's changed in the last 7 years, but there was still a bit of a stigma to that. Like I was taking the easy way out, even though, I missed this. I don't know if I missed it out, but my son was £9.10. I'm 5'2" and a size 10. Like, I was massive. He was massive. And they say that your second baby is going to be bigger. So, I was just like, okay, I'm going to really listen to you, even though every part of me wants to, prove my tenacious side. I will go back to therapy and work out what that is. Not the easy way out. But when it came to her birth, I knew that she was going to be born on the 6th of August, 2019, Jerry Halliwell's birthday. I didn't put it because of that, but yeah, anyway, girl power. And I knew that I was in the first set. I was in the first morning thing. So the instructions were, take these tablets the night before, don't eat anything, rock up at 7. We'll see you there. And then there was this situation with the NHS where they assess the 3 people. So there's 3 people in the waiting room, 3 mums to be. And they assess which is the most needy, essentially, or most high need. So say there was somebody who was, 54 and having twins or triplets. They'd be like, do you want to come down first and have the babies? And then I would, be last or whatever. Not that I was a spring chicken, I was 37. But I wasn't having twins or triplets. And when we got there, we arrived and there was nobody else there. Like pretty much we had to climb in through the window to get into the hospital. It was so, so quiet. I'm going to pause it there, by the way, and come back for part 2 so I can do that. Come back for the next one.